So the first thing that's going on is that the commission, which typically shows up on our MLS, that helps buyers agents understand what their compensation is going to be for representing a buyer, is no longer on the MLS. That has been eliminated. So let me just clarify something. That doesn't mean that sellers aren't compensating buyers agents for representing buyers and bringing a buyer to purchase their property. If they want to open up the market to the largest amount of people, they will offer buyer broker compensation. Really, what it comes down to is compensation is going to be negotiable now with buyers. So it puts buyers in a more difficult position with purchasing. I know that they wanted transparency as far as purchasing, because it used to be where it was just assumed that the sellers would pay the buyer's agent, but now it cannot be assumed. Now it's a position for negotiating. In some cases, if the sellers are not compensating the buyer's agent, the buyers will need to pay for their buyer's agents. So it was a big lawsuit, and they are trying to create the transparency. They are hoping that this will help create a correction in the industry, the real estate industry. I don't know. I just know that we've now been trained on completing the new forms. Every time we work with a buyer, we must discuss, before showing them any property, we must discuss how we are paid. So it could be that the buyers are paying us. It could be that the sellers are paying us. It could be that we're negotiating a hybrid between the two of those concepts. So everything is spelled out at the beginning of our relationship. So if you are a buyer thinking about purchasing a property, you need to make sure that you're working with somebody who knows what they're doing, who is going to be able to negotiate the best deal for you, because it's really requires negotiation if you're working as a buyer's agent and representing our buyers. So these are some new things that are happening within our industry. We'll see how it goes. If a buyer refuses to sign an agreement with you, there's several different options for agreements. If they refuse to sign an agreement with you, then you can't show them a property. You can't work with them. You could be fined up to $1,000 for breaking the rules, and have the consequences of losing your license if you continue to practice without having agreements in place. So they are going to be strict about this, and this is a new rule. It's a whole different way of doing business, and I think it's going to be a little bit more challenging for our buyers nowadays. I'm not 100% happy with this situation. I think it's the issue of affordable housing. It's already hard for a buyer to come up with a down payment, to come up with closing cost, and it just makes it a little bit more difficult, I think, for buyers. So not to say it's impossible, but I just believe that the concepts that were promoted with this idea that buyers are going to be in a better perspective, I don't think they're going to be at a better perspective. I think we'll see what's going to happen. But today is when the day of changes. This is when it happens, the change. So stay tuned.